Hey, hey, hey! I'm back. Namaste. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry, my cat's sitting out there looking at me like, what you doing, mama? Ooh, yeah, sorry, my hair is a bit of a mess. A mess. Oh, wow, it is a big mess. Whatever. I think y'all know me by now. I don't really care too much about that kind of stuff. I had not planned on coming back onto Facebook, but, you know, when spirit leads, you follow. So, I was actually having a conversation with my friend Emma. Shout out to you if you watch this. And we were talking about texting habits and things like that. And I got the download about communication. Now, I've shared about, it's so funny, I started talking about communication and my throat chakra was like, so someone that tunes into my videos, you really need to do some throat chakra clearing, because I think you watch my videos all the time and your spirit team is saying you have a closed throat chakra, which means a couple things. It could mean you're not speaking your truth, and that could be in any situation, because it's just like, and I was not having this problem before I started the video. I'm sorry guys, hold on. Yeah, it's like just all of a sudden it's closed up. It also can mean that you're not living authentically, meaning you're hiding parts of yourself to please others. Someone might have a problem with dry mouth, because all of a sudden my mouth is super dry too, and it wasn't. Wow, you guys. I don't know who you are, but you really need to work on clearing that throat chakra. I'm not really sure what the what you can do for clearing throat chakra. So on my personal journey, whenever I'm not like an expert, okay? So when I come across situations, like if someone were to tell me, oh, you need to clear your throat chakra, I would just go do the research. And when you're doing the research, use your spiritual discernment. If you come across something that sounds like it, resonates with you, that was just me burping, sorry. There are no right or wrong answers, okay? So when you're on this journey, the whole point of the journey is to learn how to connect inward to your intuition, because your intuition and your physical body is your connection to the divine, okay? God designed that so that while we are using our 5 senses to navigate the physical realm, we could also use our intuition or our 6th sense to navigate those things that we can't see, because everything is energetic. Everything holds energetic frequency, but we can't really perceive those energies through our 5 senses necessarily. So what God did is he designed our body to be connected to our intuition. So when our intuition senses something, it will activate energetically in our body and we will have a physical reaction. A lot of the time with our intuition, it's connected to our gut, to our solar plexus. Okay, so you'll feel things in your gut. That can also navigate up into your heart chakra as well, if it has to do with the heart matters. Okay, I don't know who needed to hear that, because that's kind of a side note of what we're going to be talking about. So I've talked about the importance of communication many times on my channel. Well, I say my channel because normally I do YouTube, but Facebook Live. Communication is how we... Oh God, now there's another cat in my yard. She's trying to submit to my cat. That's so funny. I'm sorry. Cats crack me up. I'm a cat lover. They're so funny, though. I'm sorry. If you hear in the background, that's them. So that's communication, right? So that's a good point, Spirit. You know, my cat is communicating to this other cat, like, back off. You're kind of breaching my boundaries, right? So communication is important, because that is, you know, how we interact as human beings is we communicate. And we don't just communicate with our words. We communicate with our body language. We communicate with our actions. And with our words, it's more than just words. It's tone. It's what we say. It's how we say it. When we say it. One of the things I brought up with my friend was that many times people will use communication as a weapon, as a form of punishment, or boy, I really don't know who you are, but please, for my sake, if you're going to keep watching my videos, work on that throat chakra because I can feel it. So you will see this with people who are higher on the narcissistic scale. They will use communication as a way to manipulate and control the situation, especially when they know how important communication is to you. See, the thing with communication is when you are someone who is more self-aware and working on your healing journey, and I was tempted to say you are healed, as in past tense, done, but honestly, as long as we're in our human form, we are, oh my God, these two are so funny. We're never going to be completely healed, okay? At least that's my belief. I think we're always evolving. So when you're self-aware and you're on this healing journey, something that's going to become very important to you and is going to really, there's going to be a hyper focus on, is the communication in your life, because you begin to realize just how much communication happens on a subconscious level. When people are not healed, when they're not self-aware, when they're not working on their healing journey, they will tend to lack healthy communication. They will tend to use communication as a tool to control and manipulate situations. And the more healed you are, and the more self-aware you are, and the more in tune you are, the more you will see through this, and it will frustrate you. Because generally speaking, when you are coming from this place of encouraging healthy communication, it's because you have a desire to understand somebody. You have a desire to understand the situation. You have a desire to work on things. You have a desire to come to healthy compromises. You're coming at that from a place with pure intentions, okay? And the other person or people involved, because they're not at that level of understanding, are not going to receive it that way. And so they're going to take that attempt and they're going to filter that through their own ego and their own wounding, and then they're going to use that as a tool to punish you or manipulate you, okay? So I don't know why, I've gone through this in my personal life, and full disclosure, I used to do that, and I didn't realize I was doing that. Before I began my healing journey, before I became self-aware, I had, higher narcissistic tendencies. I don't think I was ever, looking at the diagnostic criteria for NPD, I don't think I was ever a narcissist as far as that's concerned. But I definitely had higher tendencies, and that, again, came from woundedness. It came from, who I was raised with and the kind of tendencies they had. I had parents that had their own things going on. And so when you are becoming self-aware, you begin to realize that you are a product of your environment up until the point of self-awareness. And then once you become self-aware, now the power and control is back within you, and you get to decide what you're going to do with that. Do I want to heal? Do I want to change? Sometimes, I don't know why Spirit's having me go on this tangent, but sometimes that change can be sparked by someone in your life, someone you care about, or someone that came in and flipped your world upside down like a catalyst. And the saying is you shouldn't change for people. But there's a caveat to that, because you are changing for people, but primarily you're changing for yourself, because you have the understanding that if your behavior is being disruptive in your life and in the life of others, in other words, if your behavior patterns and your way of thinking and your way of talking and your way of doing things is creating cycles that are uncomfortable and loss and things like that, and it's creating rifts in your friendships and your relationships, then when you become self-aware of that, then that becomes a decision to say, you know what? It's not that I want to change for these people, but I can see that the way I'm living my life is really not productive. Okay. And so you can go within and say, I'm going to choose a change because I can see that this is not benefiting me. And in some cases, it could be hurting the people around you. And so you go within and you make that decision to change for yourself. Okay. You take that accountability, and I've talked about taking accountability before. In fact, I just had this conversation with my son. He made some unwise decisions financially, and he wants me to bail him out. And it'd be very easy for me to do that, as far as like, I'm not rich by any means, but it's just a little bit that he needs. But the point that I had to show him, and I went over with him, is that it was his, they weren't necessarily bad decisions. He wasn't trying to do it to be bad, but he was not being responsible. And he made irresponsible decisions, got himself in a pickle, and now is expecting other people to bail him out. Well, when you do that, you enable the person, they don't learn the lesson, and then they'll just keep repeating those cycles, right? So I had to communicate that with him. I had to communicate. So that's why I keep saying communication is key. And I think Spirit keeps putting this on my heart because I am going through this in my personal life with many different aspects of my life. There's different levels of communication issues going on. So Spirit likes me to share these experiences to let you know that you're not the only person going through this. And you may be on either side of this communication issue. You might be a really good communicator who is struggling to have that reciprocated within your connections, or you might be someone who's not a very good communicator, and your lack of communication skills is causing problems in your life, and it's affecting the people around you. The one thing I want to say is that my goal by sharing my stories and my life and my growth is to help people to understand you do not need to be ashamed of the mistakes you're making in your life. You don't have to be ashamed of the missteps, or I don't really like saying mistakes, but because it has such a negative connotation. Because really all it is making choices. And some choices, all choices have consequences, okay? Some choices, if you're in alignment with that choice, you're going to see fruitfulness from that choice. And other choices you make, if you're out of alignment, are going to bring karmic lessons into your path. So everything you're here in this earth to learn what it's like to be human, which means you absolutely 100%, no matter what, are going to make choices eventually that are not going to be the best choice for your alignment. And the purpose of that is just to say, oh, that was not the best choice, but here's the consequence of that choice. Now, what can I do to adjust, to learn, and to get back into alignment? So if you can change your mindset from, oh, I keep screwing up, I keep fucking up, I keep making mistakes, change it from that to, I'm a human being, and that is normal to make choices that aren't always the best. And instead of beating myself up over it, and I know that can be hard because some choices that we make have very dire consequences, right? So these choices can mess us up in big ways, right? It can destroy relationships. It can, get you fired from jobs. And I understand there's levels to this, right? But what I'm saying is it doesn't negate your worth as a human being and as a divine soul, okay? It's just to say some choices are going to have bigger repercussions. And so, oh, thank you, Spirit. Shout out to him if he's watching, because I just had a moment of understanding with something. I don't know why Spirit's having me say this publicly. Maybe he's going to watch this. I don't think he watches my videos, but I'll just go ahead and say it. Some of the choices he has made have been coming from the right place, as far as understanding the magnitude of his situation and trying to kind of control the direction of it to avoid conflict, I think is how I'll word that. I'm trying to be very mindful of how I word this. But I think he understands that in the way he handled the maneuvering of those choices is where there were some issues. And so that is something that he is going to have to work through. So, but there, I just wanted to give some acknowledgement to, I just had kind of a little mini epiphany regarding that. So I don't think he's going to watch this, but you never know. Anyways, so communication is something that is absolutely 100% vital as a human being to master. And the better you get at it, the better the quality of your life will improve. The better quality of your connections and relationships will improve. So I highly encourage you, if this message is resonating in any way, shape, or form, to just allow yourself to be open to the journey of learning how to be a great communicator. Learn about active listening. Learn about how to be neutral in conversations. Learn how to be emotionally intelligent, how to control your emotions. You know, there is many aspects to communication. It's a very broad, it's not I don't want to say subject, but it's such a big part of being human that there's so many aspects to it that can be explored. So maybe start with the areas that you know you need to work on the most. You know, if maybe someone has told you something specific about your communication style and you're like, oh, I should, you know, that's probably something I should work on. And don't be afraid to admit that you need to work on that. Take that shame and guilt away and just say, you know what? I'm human, and, you know, maybe in the past I wasn't really shown great communication skills. It wasn't modeled for me, so I didn't really know what that looked like. But this is resonating for me, and I would like to be a better communicator, and I can see how that would improve my life. And so I'm going to be open to looking into this a little more, okay? So I am being called to do a little mini reading because I happen to have my cards with me. I say mini. Y'all know me. Honestly, it's not me. It's whatever messages Spirit wants to get out. And sometimes if there's a lot of you tuning into these videos, there will be a lot of different energies coming in, trying to compete to get the message out. So Holy Spirit, I trust and believe that these messages are coming from Source and are of truth, as we are seeking clarity, wisdom, and understanding in our situations. I am divinely protected, always, and during this reading. I do ask permission before tapping into anyone else's energy during this reading. And I want to thank all the love teams that are gathered right now. And I can tell you right now, I just heard 5 or 6. So there's at least 5 or 6 people that are going to tune in that this message is going to resonate for, because I feel the presence of the love teams. And I'm seeing clusters of light, like, what's the term? You know, it's so weird. Someone's going to resonate with this. I'm sorry, scroll, but I thought I was losing words because I'm getting older. But I feel what's happening is the deeper I go on my spiritual journey and the more I'm connecting energetically with everything around me, I don't know if it's just I have less of a need for words because I'm feeling everything energetically. But the problem with that is that energy is more than words. So sometimes it's like I'm feeling everything so strong energetically that I don't have a word for it. And then when I try to find a word for it, my brain goes psst, because I'm not connecting with words as much as I am now with energy. I don't know if someone's going to resonate with that or not. And I had that same experience when I was having a session with plant medicine, and I had the opportunity to meet, quote unquote, God, which I like to call Source, but I still refer to as God because of my Christian background. When I was being drawn into the light, I was having all of these intense feelings and sensations and emotions that I could put words to some of it to explain it, But most of what I was experiencing and feeling, I didn't have words for, but I felt it energetically. So I don't know if that's going to resonate for someone. But yeah, I noticed lately that I do stumble on words a lot, but I don't think it's because my brain is faltering. I think I'm connecting less with physical language and more with energetic language, if that makes sense. It's just weird, little evolution of of getting deeper into your spiritual journey. All right. I'm very excited. I can't share with you guys yet. I have not been told to share this. Only a few people know what's about to happen in my life right now, but I am getting ready, and there's one person that may catch this video who knows exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm getting ready to go on a new journey, and I'm very excited about it, and I have a very deep knowing that this is going to be very instrumental in my transformation process to my next level up. That's going to take me to the next chapter of my life where things are about to really kind of boost forward. So for those of you on the spiritual journey who are very awakened and know your path, or at least know enough that you're on a path, I very much let Source and God guide my path, and they've given me little drops of like breadcrumbs to keep me in alignment so that I would know, like, okay, we're on the right path. Never totally revealing the full picture, but just enough of it to keep me motivated and excited and intrigued to stay on that path, because it's like whatever it is that spirit is leading me down, I know it's big, I know it's important. And that's not to boost my ego and say, it's not like that. It's just that I know that what I'm doing matters and that I'm on the right path. I get constant confirmation that, maybe to the outside world that don't understand me as a person, understand my past, understand my current situation, may look at my situation and be like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, it may look a little chaotic to the outside observer, and I get that, but the internal peace and security I feel on the path I'm on right now surpasses that. Like, it's knowing that every step I'm taking right now, even if I don't even understand it, if I'm guided to do it, even if I don't understand it, I trust it. Someone's having some trust issues, because as soon as I said trust it, I like, poop, trust is like a little flashing warning sign in my mind's eye. I just heard the name. Okay, I thought I heard Adriana, and then I heard Adrian. So I don't know. Someone's name Adrian or Adriana, or if you're connected to that, or maybe you're just watching the show movie Rocky or something, but that just popped in my head randomly. Okay, oh, Garden in the Gate. Number 30. I also just heard someone might be turning 30. Congratulations, happy birthday. They wanted me to break down 30, so 3 is a number of alignment. Like in Christianity, you have the Trinity. The triangle is like the most stable foundation. I see it also as feminine, masculine, and then source. So it's like a how do I word that? They're showing me kind of like the yin yang symbol, but like it's twirling and twisting into it. I've never seen that before. Oh, kind of like a spiral. I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing right now. We'll try to come back. I don't want to spend too much time on that because it's weird imagery they're showing me. Anyways, 0 is completion, new cycles, closing out cycles. So what I'm feeling with the number 30 here, before I pull another card, is this is a season for many of you tuning in that there is an alignment, a balancing between your masculine and your feminine energies, but also your connection to source. And if you're religious, it might be God or Allah or whoever it is that you believe in. We're talking about the same, this is not a philosophical debate, okay? But we're talking about the same connection, that interconnection you have to truth. It's balancing you out. It's making you more stable. I just heard the name Elizabeth. So I'm going to read the book because I am being called to read the book, but I want to channel the message first off the card of what I am seeing off the card. She's standing at this gate and she's looking out. And I know what the message in the book is, so I'm trying not to repeat the message in the book because I'm getting a little bit a different interpretation as well. She knows she has the key. I was going to say fear, but this isn't necessarily fear like you're scared or fear of the unknown, maybe a little bit. You are being guided to go through this gate. I've even heard quite recently have been given this key. This key might be like a piece of information. Yeah, they're showing me putting the key in and unlocking the gate. So someone has everything they need now to go through the gate, but there's something holding you back. And I kind of feel, because with this blank, see how the hills in the background are kind of a blank? And she's in this garden with everything's already full. So this might mean stepping out into the new. It's like a blank slate, and that's intimidating a little bit. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. Because this is kind of like you get to pave the path. You get to create what that world is going to look like. The grass is there. The grass is already green and luscious. And Spirit says it's here for you to... They're giving me the image of Minecraft. So Minecraft, you're given this world and you get to create what you want with it, right? So I feel like you've been given what you need to walk through that gate and begin this new journey, this new life. It could be, I'm hearing, moving to a new location. You are very strongly divinely guided because I keep being drawn to these little butterflies. You might be seeing butterflies, specifically white butterflies. The other thing I'm seeing here is this little birdhouse. There's no birds around it yet. The birds are over here. Oh, I never noticed that. The birdhouse is here and the bird's over here. Again, it's like you can see the destination. You can see there's the birdhouse. And I know in that birdhouse, I have safety, I have food. Like somebody has built this birdhouse just for me. And all I have to do is fly to it and enjoy what's there. And I'm hearing there's, trust issues. That's funny, Spirit. There might be a little bit of trust issues. Is this real? Is this a trap? If I'm going to fly over to partake in this birdhouse, is there going to be some kind of trap? Is like a cat going to pop out of the hole and try to eat me? Or is it just an illusion? I'm going to fly over there and peek my head in and there's really no food in there. Like there's some kind of lack of trust here. I'm hearing, is this too good to be true? I'm just laughing because... that's your spirit team laughing because they understand why, when you go through a lifetime of lack and loss and negativity, it can be really disorienting to all of a sudden be more in your healed energy and start to realize that you are truly manifesting beauty into your life. You are truly manifesting beautiful things into your life because you're not used to it. It feels foreign to you. And so all of a sudden when all this nice stuff starts happening, you're kind of like, can I trust this is real or is this like another prank? Like I'm going to put my trust in it and then it's going to be taken away from me. Like, calm down. We're going to probably pull another one, but I am feeling... Oh, I still forgot what I was doing here. To read the book, because I feel there's going to be a different message in the book or to add to it. So let's just see. Throat chakra again. This card shows a peaceful young woman in a beautifully blossoming garden here. We'll put this up for you. with colorful flowers all around. However, the gate to the road outside the garden is locked while the girl wears a key on a chain around her neck. This card upright bodes well for the financial scene. In fact, there may be a lot of money or other personal pleasures coming your way at this time. But be aware, the choice to stay in the seeming security of this lovely garden may actually be motivated by a habit of fear or the unknown. Ah, that's what I was channeling. Okay, that's funny. The beauty is enticing and worth enjoying, but you may not be giving your spirit the freedom to roam. While it's fine to amass a great deal of wealth, don't let it keep you from your karmic path. And I don't like that word karmic path because a lot of people associate that with negative. So we'll say dharmic path, or from living your truth. You have the choice to shift your focus, widen your spiritual perspective, and gain the world that is just outside your gate. Yeah, so it could be that where you're at right now is comfortable. You're comfortable. And going through that gate represents uncertainty of outcome. And maybe you're a person, I just heard earth signs. Maybe you're a person who is used to a certain level of stability and control and knowing what's happening, when it's happening, how it's happening. And your spirit, which is growing stronger within you, is saying, yeah, but there's more to life. And I want to show you. And you have to let go of that control a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to read the reversal too. If this card is reversed, and that just means that if it were to come upside down, it didn't, but I am being led to read it. It indicates the happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuit. I was just saying that. I think that's why Spirit wanted me to read this. You may have been obsessed with worldly issues before, but your readiness to go deeper is now here. Many people believe they cannot live in a material world, make lots of money, and engage in spiritual priorities at the same time. But you now realize this isn't true. In fact, you can bring this wonderful spiritual focus to any endeavor. And when you do, you'll find that beyond your garden, the universe is willing to fill your life with beauty and joy. Expect the unexpected, for joyous synchronicity abounds. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Thank you, Spirit. Your affirmation for this card, if you want to affirm it: I am blessed with an abundantly spiritual life. Every day, in every way, my joyous prosperity grows and grows. Okay, I do want to do one more card because I feel like there's going to be a separate message. This was a separate message, okay? Let's do one more. Let's get one more message for the people that are tuning in today. Woo. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, I'm going to get to the one that popped out. But first, we have appreciation. Appreciation. I never say that. Appreciation. Make my mouth go all weird for that. Appreciation. Appreciation. And adjacent possibilities. And what I wanted to note on this is both of these cards break down to 6. Hold on. Oh, I can't. Look up spiritual number 6. Just trust me on that, okay? Please. Should discern the trust, but look it up because I feel that that's going to have a significant connection for somebody right now. There's a lot of doors opening, and I feel with this, it's going to leak into this message. Once you take your key and open the gate, what you're gonna find where you were afraid to walk through that gate because you're leaving behind something you know and feel familiar with, is that a lot of doors are going to open in different areas of your life. And Spirit is asking you to walk through this season with the spirit of appreciation. I said that right. The way I pronunciate. I've also done videos about about this before too, but being in the attitude of gratitude is very magnetic for the universe. The universe loves when we show appreciation for what it provides. And it loves it so much, it provides more. And the way you can know that is just think about how you are as a person. When you do nice things for people, when you provide nice things for people and they show you appreciation, that feels so good that it makes you want to do more, right? It's just energy. That's the way, we were designed after, Christians say we're made in his image. We are all connected to source, and this is source energy. Love and appreciation and respect, all of these things are what keep the energetic flow going. So when you choose to be grateful for what you have, that opens doors for you. I'm just noticing this purple door stand out. Depending on where you're at on your spiritual journey, you might end up having some these are going to be opportunities for spiritual growth. And I'm thinking, it's making me think of the crown chakra and the third eye chakra, which are your higher chakras that connect you to the divine, to the spiritual realm. And with that door being open, I feel there's going to be more flow of information, downloads, opportunities for that spiritual growth. But there is a warning, and then we'll move on to the other card that I pulled. See this door on the floor? Just because doors are open does not mean they're always the right door for you. If you were walking along and not paying attention and you walked into that open door, you would fall through the floor. So, and you will see, oh, and I've never noticed that. There's a door that's closed. When spirit closes a door, trust your intuition on that. Our ego may want to fight it. Our ego may want to rationalize. But we have to remember that our connection to the divine, our intuition, can see in the spirit things that we cannot see with our physical eyes. And that is the whole point of learning to trust our intuition, is so that as we are being guided, as we're being guided down this path, we might just see this open door as an opportunity, but our spirit's saying no, because if you step through that door, you're going to fall into a pit. And so your intuition's saying, walk around that. I know it's open and it looks tempting, but walk around it. There's something better for you. Okay? Now we're going to move on to the message the card that came out. The World card. And then we're going to end on this because that's what I'm feeling led to do. This person is standing at the end of a platform. What do they call that? The platform that goes out into the water. Pier. And there's lotus flowers in the water. Sorry, guys. So, this card is a 29, which breaks down to 11. 11 is divine alignment. Now, this picture of the world, half of it's shaded, half of it's in light. I always have the message of this is about perception. If you choose to see the world around you through your ego mind, you're likely seeing all the bad. Your energy is sucked into that. You might be someone who watches a lot of the news channels. Sorry. You might be someone that's, really focused on the news and the things that are going on in the world. You might be into the entertainment industry. You're very focused in the world. Worldly things. And that keeps you in your ego, and that keeps you disconnected from your soul space. Because when you're perceiving things through your ego, you're perceiving things through only what you're seeing with your physical eyes. So whatever illusion is being cast on the world at the time is what you're buying into. And if you're buying into it, that is what you're telling your subconscious mind is truth and reality, and so that is what you experience more of. I think the reason this world card is here is because I'm not going to take this. Let me shuffle this. Is because you are going through a transformative process, transformation. My words like collided there. That might be significant, a collision. Someone might have just gotten in a car accident. Collision of worlds. You might have just somebody here watching, sorry, there's a lot of energies coming through. Like I said, if I have multiple people watching, I will pick up on multiple stories. So, if I say something that doesn't make sense for you, just disregard it. It's probably for someone else who's tuning in, okay? One of you or multiple of you might have felt like someone has come into your life that just collided with your world, and because I'm seeing the Hangman in my mind's eye. This person came into your world and collided with you and flipped your whole worldview upside down. And the purpose of this was to begin your spiritual transformation. This was your catalyst. Your soul, on a soul level, was calling out for this to happen. Your ego was completely unaware and unprepared for this. But on a soul level, you were being called towards this person because your soul knew that this person was going to be a catalyst for you. And so I've seen this happen to so many people in the spiritual community. It happened to me, and I've seen it happen to other people. So on a soul level, we attract each other. We have soul contracts. And when your soul is ready to wake up from its slumber and experience an ego death so that you can... An ego death doesn't mean your ego dies. It just means it's a clearing away of old thoughts and belief systems to make way for truth. Okay? It's like a reprogramming of the mind. This person came in and has challenged you in ways you... whoa. That you never thought you would ever experience. It's been very... I'm hearing the word discombobulating. Yeah, Ten of Wands. But the reason this has come in is because your soul's saying, it's time to let go of these burdens. Life has been burdening you, and you have been carrying these wands, not realizing that at any time you have the power to just drop those wands. You're in control. 10 is a cycle. 10 is endings and beginnings. Oh, again, 10 is a 1 and a 0, so it's endings and beginnings. Coming full cycle. I'm hearing for someone to look up the spiritual meaning, or the meaning of the spirit animal of deer. That might be significant for you. You might resonate with that. The deer. I know that's okay. Okay, whoa. Hold on, guys. There's a lot of energy coming through and the cards are going crazy. Let me... Okay, we're just clarifying the world right now. Too many things were trying to come through and it was getting... Okay, just... Thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a Roman numeral X, which is 10. It was 10 of Wands, 10, and the World card being 11. The Wheel of Fortune talks about cycles. That's what I was just saying with the 1 and 0. You're moving through cycles. I just heard something about planetary shifts. Pointing out the Scorpio and the Libra. You might have, only if this is resonating for you, because only certain people understand what I'm about to say. Look up where your Scorpio and Libra placements are in your chart. That might be important. Oh, my kitty's climbing the tree. No, I'm not pulling any more tarot. Except Ace of Wands on the bottom. New beginnings. Again, you are coming out of a cycle. I just heard 7 to 10. So likely it's like 7 to 10 year cycle. Can be 7 to 10 months. We are constantly going through cycles and shifts as we evolve on our journey on a micro and a macro level. So the micro level would be like 7 to 10 weeks, 7 to 10 days, 7 to 10 months. Yes, 7 to 10 days. You would be surprised the sheer number of epiphanies and life-changing events you can experience in 1 week. 1 week can completely change your life around. I'm hearing even down to 7 to 10 hours. So the point that Spirit is making is that these shifts and changes happen on a macro and a micro level. So macro would be that longer time period, 7 to 10 years. You know, and if you were to look back where you were 7, 10 years ago, if you're watching this video and you've stayed this long, you're probably someone who is on the journey, and you can look back in reflection and see the changes you have been through. Be proud of that, because the spiritual journey is not easy. And the reason so many people choose to stay asleep and not wake up to who they are as a divine being is because it's hard. You go through a lot of changes, you go through a lot of loss, you have to completely change the way you think, and that makes you an outsider in a world that exists in darkness. You become the light in that world. You might be someone who, at this point in your journey, you are beginning to see things differently, but you may notice that more people are attracted to you, but not for, romantic purposes. It's people are attracted to that light because they can sense on a soul level where you're at on your journey, and they're seeking, they might just seek your energy. So what I'm hearing, watch out for energy vampires. These are people that they don't realize they're doing it, but they like your energy and they attach to you and they drain you. That'll be a message for another time. I just had this conversation with my girls about this. They're saying specify. So I will do a message another time about the importance of, if you're a feminine energy, it happens to men too, but specifically feminine energy, guarding your feminine energy from men who siphon it. Okay? So that would be another message, because that is another important one. But when you start connecting to that light within you, you become a beacon for broken, lost, hurting souls that need help. But if you are not strong in your own self, as far as your boundaries and knowing how to discern and knowing, and this is part of the process I've been through in recent years, is especially if you're empathic, you tend to attract hurting people, and your essence is you want to mother them, you want to help them, you want to nurture them, you want to help them heal, but it's not always your job. Sometimes people will latch onto you and you will become a crutch, and you will actually hinder their growth, because if they're attached into your loving and healing energy, they're not doing the work to heal themselves. You become a band-aid for a bullet wound. So sometimes the caveat to being the light is you also have to know how to have those boundaries of when to say, you know what, I'm not a charging block you can plug your cord into and just siphon off my energy when you feel like it. Like, I care about you, I love you, but you have to learn how to heal yourself so that you can become your own energy source. That should be the goal of everybody, is to go within, do the inner healing work, and learn how to be your own power source. That's what the divine wants. That's the whole point of me sharing my journey. That's the whole point. A lot of us, people out here that are sharing our journeys publicly, we're trying to show you kind of a path on what that can look like. I'm not a template because I'm not going to be the same exact situation as everyone else, but it's kind of just to show you like, okay, this is kind of how it can happen. And this is kind of a path that I can at least get started on. And then you learn to go within and trust your internal guidance and intuition and your connection to the divine, whether that be through religion or spiritual practices or whatever the case may be. Wow. I feel that was the message. Started with communication, ended with the world. So that was a very powerful message. I hope it really resonated for y'all. As usual, I don't care so much about the likes, okay? But if this message resonated, or you know someone in your life that could benefit from this information, feel free to share. You know, the whole point is we are here to help each other heal and grow and elevate and just become the, you know, not just the best version of ourselves, but really just to learn how to connect into our humanity through our soul space so that we can live in peace and harmony and love and joy instead of that darkness, right? We would much rather experience the world like this than like this, right? And so we're all here just trying to help each other do that, okay? So I hope you have a great day. Namaste.